they wanted pictures of my hands as well. Sent it all off, and I get this phone call like an hour later, and they tell me it's for the new Queen film. To which I thought it was absolute BS. And then basically they wanted my passport details over the phone and everything, and all quick,
Yeah.
So it seemed really weird. It seemed very strange. Anyway, so my dad came up with this great idea of meeting them face to face with my passport, and they gave me an audition.
It's an indie flex.
Okay, so today on It's an Indie Flex, we have Mr. Charlie Fiske. Charlie, how are you today?
Yeah, mate, how you doing?
Yes, lovely. So,
good?
Charlie, I've noticed that you've got quite some impressive accolades, and I just wanted to ask you a bit about how they came about. So I want to start with asking you your most notable and, I guess in your eyes, most impressive achievement of yours.
The Queen film, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
That's definitely up there as one of them. And then I'd probably say the other one is with my old band called The Tailor Made.
Mm-hmm.
And we went around and supported a few big artists as well.
Yeah.
So that was,
Would I be right in saying George Ezra, Beach Boys, Tom Jones?
That's it. Yeah.
I did some research before on this one. So I wanted to ask you about Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, I think it's quite interesting. So do you feel like it's important to be multidisciplinary?
To survive in the creative arts, no matter what it is, music, acting, it doesn't matter. You need to be doing multiple things, really.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's production and recording and stuff, or playing an instrument, or playing multiple instruments, or acting and writing and directing, just a mix of skills, really. And that's the only way you can really sustain a living.
So how did you get that gig?
I was on a website online, just one of these advert websites. I think it was called Star Now or something like that. And, there's a few of them online, your Gumtrees and all that. And I was just having a browse looking for drumming jobs, actually. And I've always done it pretty much every day, always look for jobs. And then, anyway, long story short, it said drummer and keyboard player wanted for a major feature film. And that's all it said on this advert. And you see a lot of these kind of weird adverts cropping up, especially on this Star Now website and a couple of others, commercial buyouts and all sorts. You always see this kind of stuff. Oh, drummer wanted, 50 quid, here you go, do some drumming in the background, all that kind of stuff. So that's literally what I thought it was. I thought it was just some university music video. Someone's going to chuck me 50 quid or whatever, bit of drumming, and that was it. And then anyway, I read the advert, and then I didn't actually apply for it when I first saw it. I actually went off of it and carried on looking for other adverts. And the reason, because on that advert, it said you had to be a specific build, specific body type, specific height, specific hair colour. I thought there's no chance in hell I'm going to tick all those boxes because, I didn't even know what my height was. I knew I was somewhere near 6 foot, but I thought, and they wanted someone between 5'9" to 5'11". I didn't even have a clue what my height was, and I thought there's no chance I'm going to get close to that. Anyway, 5 minutes later, I thought, you know what, I'll check it out. It turns out I was 5'11", spot on, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and they wanted someone between 5'9" to 5'11", so I was spot on. Anyway, I was like, okay. They wanted pictures of my hands as well. Sent it all off, and I get this phone call like an hour later, and they tell me it's for the new Queen film. To which I thought it was absolute BS. And then basically they wanted my passport details over the phone and everything, and all quick,
Yeah.
So it seemed really weird. It seemed very strange. Anyway, so my dad came up with this great idea of meeting them face to face with my passport, and they gave me an audition. And so we get to the studios somewhere in London. I think it was near Holborn or something like that. Turn up, and it was all the costumes there and everything, and it was all legit. It was all real. And then they rolled out this big TV in front of me. They say, okay, you got to learn Radio Gaga from Live Aid. and we're going to grab you in a couple of minutes kind of thing. So then my eyes were glued to the screen. I had to learn Radio Gaga. I mean, it's not particularly hard on the drums, but so you look like a bit of a donut as it is, because I brought my dad along, and then there was this essay trying to distract me, and you think, all right, shut up, I'm trying to learn this song, to get this bloody part. And audition, they filmed behind me with the camera, and I had to play it on a Roger Taylor replica drum kit, with all the massive drums and stuff, and there was like muted pads and stuff, and then and that was it. They filmed me and they said I got the part like a week later. But it's a bit weird, like, because there's so many lows, when you do get a high, it's kind of difficult to celebrate it, because you don't, you always
know when the next one's coming.
Exactly.
So it's not going to be like this forever. So
exactly, and things get
the next one
all the time. And things get pulled all the time. So by the time you actually realise you got it, you don't really celebrate, because you're already on the film set and doing the work, or whatever. So
what would you say is your current relationship in terms of how happy you are with what you're doing? Do you find, like, day to day, you're quite comfortable in what you're doing, or do you still feel like you're not quite where you want to be yet?
I don't think you'll ever know where you want to really be until you start seeing regular money coming in. When you get these kind of opportunities, which does happen a lot more regularly than you think, it's just behind closed doors, or the right producer, or whatever it is. A lot of things do happen, but without you knowing. And when these opportunities do come along, obviously you've got to just take it and grab it and do the best job you can. But at the same time, it's a weird one, because you kind of think that, oh, okay, it's going to do this for you, it's going to do that. Yeah. And especially when you get something as big as bigger film as Bohemian Rhapsody come along, you kind of think, oh, okay, I've made. You kind of subconsciously think, okay, I've made it, and you don't really think about music as a lifestyle, and I think that's a problem with a lot of students, and even when I was at BIMM as well. Whether it's going out every night or once, twice a week, just for to a couple of gigs and meeting people, jam nights, you just have to just keep pressing on with it, really. You always want to be looking for the next job. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And whether you need to teach or do something consistent in the background, then that's fine, And also, if you have to have a part-time job as well, or whatever, don't think, okay, you failed, because you haven't. You're still trying, and as long as you've got stuff going on, you'll be all right, I think. Yeah.
So Charlie, your first track, Cougar in the Corner.
All my friends keep telling me to calm down. My hair's a state. I'm spinning round and round and round. All my friends keep telling me to sit down and not a chance. So let's go dance. Dancing in the corner, call me crazy, singing out to Mr. Brightside. What can I say? It's the price I pay. Feeling really sick, I'm up the creek without a barrel, need a lifeline. And I can't swim. No, I can't win. I'm out of my head. I'm out of my head. I'm out of my mind. I'm out of my mind. Dancing on the table and we're sipping on a red, red wine. I'm out of control. I'm out of control. I'm out of my mind. I'm out of my mind. Dancing on the table and we're sipping on a red, red wine. Dancing on the table and we're sipping on a red, red wine.
That was Cougar in the Corner, and that was recorded when?
Oh god, about 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
About a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Have you doing anything upcoming with the Tailor Made at all?
No, I think if you can create your own thing, then you don't have to rely on too many people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would recommend doing that as well on the side, trying to create your own stuff.
Okay. What do you do on the side?
Nothing.
There you go.
I've kind of gone onto the acting realms a little bit. So at the moment, I'm just working with my neighbour and friend, on just working on a pilot episode actually for a TV series.
Oh, nice
yeah,
one.
so it's a bit different.
Yeah.
From all the music stuff, but you know, I like developing new skills and stuff, you know, and I thought, do you know what? I've got this new neighbour who's moved in a couple of years ago, fairly new neighbour, who does filming and stuff. I've got a lot of friends who are actors now and musicians who can write good music, etc. Why not just bring everyone together and make something that we all really enjoy and all really believe in? Do you know what I mean? And then obviously in terms of, like I say, the money side and just living, you know, we'll see what we can do with it, whether it's sending it off to, you know, some TV channel or whatever, you know. But I think the initial passion is there, so I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. So that's kind of what we've started not too long ago. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens with that.
Sounds like you got a lot of plans and you're quite knowledgeable about it. Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of, as we are talking about, a lot of students like myself are currently stuck in this dream world of, uni's really good, love music, gonna do it, leave uni, all sorted. But I mean, I know for a fact that it's not gonna go like that.
What I would say as well is for upcoming artists and students, etc., is not to be so closed-minded. And what I mean by this is, you know, if you were to start on jazz or something other than your pop or whatever, obviously, you know, be a bit of an all-rounder as well and delve into other genres, but also like know your stuff. For example, if I didn't buy my SPD, my sampling pad, years ago, I wouldn't have done half the gigs I've done. Or when I was doing these auditions with this manager and this artist recently, like I say, we had 30 odd guitarists, 30 bass players. This was for EDM pop music, right? Yeah. And a lot of guitarists turned up with no pedals or one pedal. And you think about that kind of music, it's all effects, you know? And you just think, what are you doing, you know? Get something that's an extra tool to your trade, you know? It's like a builder doesn't turn up with like one set of spanners or one drill or something. Do you know what I mean?
So, I want to talk to you about covers. How necessary would you say it is for a band playing at pub level to include covers in their set?
This is the thing, let me tell you something, right? So, a lot of original artists in London and in the UK and just everywhere, in general, really, they focus too much on the originals, I think. And this is what I've learned kind of through different situations and different things I've done, you know. And I think the best thing to do is add a cover of some sort, whether it's one or two covers. If you're doing like a half-hour set original act, don't just cover the actual song, do a twist. And this is why I think the TaylorMade, for example, went down so well with a crowd, you know, because we had put our own twist on it. It can literally be as silly as adding a complete new verse into it, you know, add a bit of rapping or, you know, obviously keep the choruses the same, but that's the best thing to do. And you look at like the Vamps or, you know, a lot of these pop artists, you know, they all started off with covers on YouTube and stuff, but they'd put their own twists on them. I think if you just cover a song, it's just a bit dead if you're just covering it for the sake of it. Yeah.
You've done a lot of performances. You just showed me one to, what was that, 4,000 or 5,000 people?
It was about 12,000.
12. Okay, yeah, my perception of amounts is definitely off there. So, what is your philosophy, or what do you think is the most, you know, important thing? You know, something you keep in your head constantly when you sit down, you're ready to play. What is going through your head? What are you thinking?
Outside of the plan,
outside of like, yeah. What do you bring to the table? What do you make sure that you do every time that's thinking? People don't just want to sit down and hear me play drums because they could listen to that. Right. What is it that I'm going to do that makes it better?
Your personality is naturally going to change your sound and the way you play, and that's going to bring something to the table. But I also think if you can add something, you know, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me when I say this. A lot of people. And I don't blame them because I'm on their side. Obviously, again, it does depend on the circumstance. But even if it was something as silly as one stick trick, right? And I know a lot of people are going to hate me say it, right? Yeah. However, if you've done your homework and you've got good groove and etc., you know, the best example is John Blackwell, right? The drummer for Prince, rest in peace, he's gone. But when he did his stick tricks, he used to have a China cymbal behind his head, and he would flick his sticks and hit the cymbals, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's completely unique. So if you can think of something like that, you know.
And for your personality, how do you think
Yeah.
that comes across when you're playing?
I'm just annoying. They're like, who's that idiot? Get him off stage. Yeah, I don't know. I just try to join in with the crowd or like get him going.
Yeah.
Somehow, you know, because if the rest of the band don't bring any personality or anything, then obviously you can try and stand out. You could try to direct the band and do your own thing, but then they might not like it.
Yeah.
So that's a whole separate job in itself, is just getting on with people, isn't it, really? I mean, there's so many examples, you know, you can copy.
Yeah.
There's so many people. McNasty, that's it.
Okay.
McNasty, Labyrinth's brother. He's amazing at directing the band and leading the crowd. You know, check that guy out if you wanna learn to direct an audience. You know,
Okay, yeah. I'll write that
stuff
down.
like that.
Charlie, you've been really good today. You give me a lot of information. Not just me, I hope anyone listening too is. Yeah, I would like one more to play you out to.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like me to play?
Yeah. So this is Stories by Darren Campbell.
I wanna see inside your head everything that's on your mind. 'Cause all these questions I've been asking, I think about them all the time. Oh, come on, tell me everything about you. I wanna know your stories. I wanna know the girl I'm loving. And baby, I wanna touch your body. I wanna feel you always. I wanna know the girl I'm loving. You always say there's something wrong. There's always something going on.